Welcome to the Jennifer Rose channel. Right now on this channel, I have two things going on right now. I have my Rose Intuitive Messages, which are messages to help you in your everyday. What this is my personal soul's journey. I started this, I believe, in February or March, my first post, because I wanted to put something on a social media. It's all about people that are seeking something. YouTube is all about the seekers. And I thought, what a better place than to put my soul's journey, my personal video log, than right here. My first video that I put out for my soul's journey is because I hit the peak in my healing journey. And I'll give you kind of a little bit of a glimpse of what I'm talking about when it comes to the soul's journey. If you can picture a mound, so just a bunch of dirt with grass over it, that would be considered you're inside of that mound in a human experience. And when we awaken, we break through that mound into the open air, into seeing our life much more than just our human experiences. Like there's something more, something within you that it's almost like a calling. And I'm just putting out how this looks to me in imagery. So we come out of our mound, and we're now on top of this little mound, and we look out and we see three mountains. The first mountain that you come to, you can see it clearly. And that is the healed mountain. That is what I would be considered calling it figuring it out. And that is the most difficult mountain of the soul's journey because we've never done it before. It's confusing. It makes you want to stop midway up the mountain. You're losing people as you go. And it's work. It's work. Like nobody can go and conquer Mount Everest until they've done all the smaller mountains first. So my first video that I put out to YouTubers is that I got to that first mountain. And I tell in the last video kind of the things that I went through that kind of gave me that aha moment. Wow, I'm at this peak, and this imagery came to me. So the last video talked about being at the peak of that healed mountain. And now I'm looking out and I'm on top of the healed mountain. And there's another mountain. And I can see that one clearly now that I'm on top of the healed mountain. And I have to now go to that mountain and seek that. Now, the first mountain took me 48 years to start the work, but 48 years of that, but 51 to complete that mountain. 51 years of my life to reach the peak. And Growth Mountain, as I was talking about in the last video, I don't know what that meant. I just know that this is the imagery. This is what was coming to me. If you've been following me, a lot of mine is intuitive, and that has always gone really well for me, and my incredible faith. And if you want to learn more about me, you can go to jenniferrose.biz and you can see everything about my life. But this is just about the soul's journey. So this Growth Mountain, I don't know what it's going to look like. I just know that's what it's called. So today I woke up and it solidified in me what this mountain is, what Growth Mountain is as part of the soul's journey. And it is called Know Thyself. So the healed mountain is called figuring it out. And the Growth Mountain is called Know Thyself. So you take all the lessons that you've learned in your healing journey, just like if you learn how to climb the mountain first, you could look at it as like boot camp. Your healed mountain is boot camp, and now you're doing the journey. Now you're doing the adventure itself, and you're going back to all the things that you've learned and if you've applied them. So again, I won't go back to the other video of what happened to me to get me to that point, but what happened in the last 3 months after I finished that video is I got very sick with COVID. I had to go to the hospital because my lungs wouldn't take full breaths. And then just when I thought I was getting better, it looked like the flu hit me. So for a week and a half, I was very sick. And so now you're talking about healed mountain. I was laid up for 11 years. I laid in bed for 11 years. Any time that I have where I'm laid up for any big period of time, I'm like, am I going back? It's like a PTSD moment. So for growth mountain is I knew that I could not control whatever happens from being sick and being that. And I came to peace with it fairly quickly. So now I have COVID, and my dad takes a turn for the worst, and he's had dementia for the last 10 years. And now he's in hospice and he's dying. My father was dying in hospice for 7 days. It's absolute torture to know somebody is suffering and there's nothing that you can do about it. And, in those moments, it can send you back. It can make you evaluate, did I spend enough time with him? Did I go see him? Guilt, shame, whatever is coming up. And in that, know thyself. I was their caregiver for my mom and dad for 2.5 years. I gave all until I had nothing. And these last couple of years of healing and doing what I've needed to do for myself, I could only give my dad what I gave to him. But every time I saw him, I hugged him and I loved him. And it was my faith that be able to say, now this is his soul's journey. That's taking 7 days to pass away. And to let the Lord and God, whoever you believe in, take that reins and say, you know what? It is what it is. I can't control somebody's death. I can't control somebody's life. We are limited. Again, this is growth mountain. Know thyself. Know what you are and what you are capable of and not capable of. So now my dad passed away. It's coming to the weekend, and I had an event that I was going to, and a couple of people ended up not being able to go, so I have to go by myself. Huge fear of mine. Ever since I was laid up, I felt not confident to go on a trip by myself. And I said, you know what? I'm going by myself. There might be a blizzard happening, but I'm going. And I pushed myself to go, and it was the best trip I have ever taken. Personally, I think we don't take enough trips just to go by ourselves and be in our own energy and be able to go to a restaurant for how long or short, or be able to go in that store, or, take a ride to wherever we want to go. And the blizzard did hit. I ended up having to stay there an extra day, but the weather wasn't too bad where I was. So I was able to go on a road trip and meet some really interesting people. I found an antique store that had this little kid puzzle that was the Pink Panther, and my dad was a big fan of the Pink Panther, and it was such a nod to him in this huge antique store. And to find this thing, everything kind of happens for a reason. But it's that confidence. That's growth mountain. Know thyself. That when we're not held back by any more fears, that we are able to handle what comes at us. So how did this video get stirred up? I had another discussion with a family member yesterday, and it could have went so differently 2 years ago. And this time it was that sense of, I was brutally honest with him. He was honest with me. But I took that reality that was there. It took me a little bit more time to process it today, but I said, okay, I'm taking the control, what I can from him, and this is what I'm comfortable with. And I took steps forward to that. Know thyself. Know that you don't wait around for people to want you or not want you or schedule something with you. You say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. You do you. I will do me. Does it mean that you have... And that's another thing about Growth Mountain. As you looked at the other people at different stages and you don't go, wow, look at me. No, growth is saying it took you a minute to get here. It took you a minute to not look at everything just through your perspective. You look through it through everyone's perspective. You're able to see the big picture, even know what's happening in the moment during a conversation is heart-wrenching and it's sorrowful, but it's also not going to break you. The only person that can break you is you. The only person that can make you feel unloved is you. The only person that can make you feel anything deeply is yourself. And that is when I knew that now I'm at the peak of Growth Mountain. And that's what spurred me to make this video. Because the next mountain that I'm looking at, and there's 4, the Healed Mountain, the Growth Mountain, and the next one is the Evolved Mountain. Now we're looking out. Now if we go back to the start of it, we're on our mound from our human experience. We've spiritually awakened. Now we're standing on top of the mountain. The first mountain we see perfectly is the Healed Mountain. We go ahead and climb that up. We're at the peak. Now we see the other one, still under the clouds. Be able to go on the Growth Mountain, taking and applying everything we've learned on the first one. Get to the top of that. And now the Evolved Mountain, I would describe it, the imagery that's coming to me is it's semi in the clouds. So there is a lot more unknowns than knowns. This is the part of the journey where there's forces working and now you're aware of them. That's coming into your life. And it is for your own good, for the collective good, who knows? That is what evolving is. So now I'm at the bottom of Evolving Mountain, and I will keep you posted on how this soul's journey is going for me, because I want you to be able to relate to this. And sometimes when you hear somebody else going through it, or maybe you haven't even started yet, you're like, man, I want to do that. Well, I got a lot of materials to look at, but at the end of the day, it's your job to start to the starting line. I took a traumatic event in order to start this whole thing, and I thank God every day for doing it to me. Did I in the moment? No, kind of mad about it. But afterwards, after seeing my life, even when something horrible is coming at me like this year, every single fear, every single hang up, every single trauma, like... Even I didn't even go to my father's funeral because there was a lot of dynamics happening at the funeral. And I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. I just want to grieve. I don't want to show up for everybody. For the first time in my life, I just want to show up for me. So the day of my dad's funeral, I woke up and I had a clean, light heart. You know, like this is the part of the growth. We're showing up for ourselves. And when we do, we show up for everybody else in our life. So I'm looking at the Evolved Mountain and it's in the clouds now. I don't quite know where the peak is. But that next mountain, the final mountain. Now, most of that mountain is half. We can see it. And then the other half, it's all in the clouds. So I don't know if I'll be able to reach that by the end of my life, because we don't know how long we have on this earth. You know, God saved me 4 times that I can remember. And this last one, you know, actually spurred all of this. The rose intuitive messages that are coming out, my 10-week Transform You program, my simple SIMPLE that I came up with in the mental hospital, that they're giving us so much stuff and it's so complicated. I can't imagine, somebody that's, not being able to comprehend some of these things that are coming at us. I was just thinking of a better program. Even in my state, that's what I was trying to come up with. But I want you to know it's worth it. Even if you're alone at the top of the mountain, not a lot of people are capable of doing that in their life. Some people are very happy being inside of that mound, totally blind from everything outside of it. And even if you never remark on where anyone is at, people do things for different reasons. But I think now I appreciate where everybody's at. I understand how much work it takes to get to where I am right now. And I'm never looking down at anyone. I'm looking at them, but I also am looking at it realistically too. If you're going to show up for me, I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to be honest with anyone that's around me, and I want them to be honest with me. Before that wouldn't have been able to happen. So that's why I kind of came out to the park today to be able to give you that imagery, give you that hope, give you that courage, that if I can do this, you can too, going on to the Evolve mountain. But again, the first mountain is just figuring it out. That's the healed part. And then the second one is know thyself. You are a master of you. A master of it. You don't know anyone better than you know yourself. That is the key to Growth Mountain. So I'll leave you with that. I'm going to try to put in the first video on this screen. So if you are curious to go look at my first video for the Soul's Journey, that will be available to you. Take care, everyone. I hope you do subscribe to the channel so you can get your Rose intuitive messages. Talk to you later. Bye.